All right, good morning. Lisa, do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay, my name's Paul. Before we start, I wanted to just make sure if it's all right if I take notes.
That's fine.
Okay with you. Okay. And again, any notes that I take, they're going to be very minimal. Just the basic facts. I do want to respect your confidentiality, so I'm not going to write down anything more than I have to. Equally, just as a formality, I am a mandated reporter, so if you do share anything with me that reveals that you're in danger of hurting yourself or someone else, that is something that I would have to report. But other than that, anything you share with me is confidential. But with that being said, could you kind of briefly describe what brings you in today?
Well, I'm having a lot of trouble with my science class. Like, I'm just not getting it, and I'm failing, and I want to graduate early, but I can't do that if I'm, failing my science class, and I just need help. I need help.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, let me say I think it's great that you have the goal that you want to graduate early. That's amazing that you have those expectations for yourself. And I can only imagine how frustrating it is to have that goal and deal with a class that you're just, it's not working for you. So you say science, and you said that you are failing?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell me more about what do you think are some of the barriers between you and success in that class?
Well, it's very noisy. I can't concentrate. When we're doing like the in-class activities, no one wants to really work on it. And I feel like I'm not understanding the way my teacher is like teaching it. Like, I don't know if I like the way she's teaching it.
Okay.
It's not engaging me, and I don't pay attention that much either.
Sure. Okay, so you say that it's noisy, that the other students and your friends possibly are not taking the material seriously, and they're not taking the in-class assignments seriously.
Yes.
And then on top of that, that you don't like the way that your teacher is presenting the material. Is that correct?
Yes.
Of those three things, which seems to be the most important to you, or which is the hardest for you to deal with?
Well, since I don't understand the way my teacher is teaching, it's hard for me to do the homework. So I can't even do the homework when I get home because I don't understand what she talked about in class. So I feel like it's really just that the way she teaches is what's really interfering with my grade.
Okay. Do you think if we focused on the gap that is between you and your teacher, that you might be able to move your grade up, even in a noisy environment, and having your classmates not take it seriously?
I feel like I will be able to get my grade up because, even though it's noisy, I feel like I might be able to get my grade up because if I'm able to at least understand what she's saying or understand the material, I'll be able to get my homework and do my homework and turn it in.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like you have it sounds like there's not just one problem that is keeping you from where you want to be in this class. when you say that you're not understanding the teacher, what are some of the things that you would like to see from your teacher?
Like, she doesn't like really explain the stuff. Like, it's like she just reads off the PowerPoint and that's it. It's just she reads off the PowerPoint and that's it. It's like she doesn't explain it. So if she doesn't explain, how am I supposed to know what I'm doing? Like, how am I supposed to know if I'm doing it right? If you're not explaining, you just read off the PowerPoint.
And that's completely fair. That's got to be really irritating, especially if you're in charge, you're responsible for your own grade, and the person that's in a position of power to teach the class, if it feels like they're just not living up to their responsibility, that would be extremely irritating. Do you feel that you are you asking questions in class? Are you no? And that's fine. A lot of times it can be intimidating to raise your hand and ask a question in front of others. A lot of times it can feel like you can't ask a question of somebody who's in charge. But I do want to try to empower you, so you know that you have the right to ask for all the resources that you need, to ask for all the clarification that you need. I don't want you to feel like you can't approach any of your teachers, but I want to make sure, is that an issue when it comes to asking questions?
No, I feel like more of the issue is that she doesn't even stop and ask if we have questions. She just goes straight through the PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's got to be incredibly frustrating. It sounds like you are in an unhealthy learning environment, or I don't want to say an unhealthy learning environment per se, but an unnatural learning environment. There should be some give and take. Do you feel that your classmates feel the same way, have the same perception of your teacher as you do?
Well, considering the fact that they don't pay attention, I feel like they might not be engaged either. Since they're not paying attention and they're all talking most of the time, I usually just sit by myself in the corner.
That's got to feel like a pretty isolating experience when you show up to class.
Really don't care.
And that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. As far as, I think what we'd like to do is, as faculty, we would like to sit down with the teacher and possibly just review their strategies of how they conduct a class. That's something that we're going to do internally, but in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to our dean. Would you be open to taking the same class in a different section? It'd be the same hour of the day. Your schedule is not going to change, but it would be with a different teacher. Would that be something that you would be open to?
Yes.
Okay. And additionally, I want to make this available to you. I don't want to, don't feel obligated to take it, but there is a resource group for kind of like a study hall, but they have a teacher that comes in and they help kind of monitor. So if students have questions during this study hall, they can explain it. So what I'm proposing is so a change of class, but also an additional resource of just kind of like a study group. That way you can feel confident that you at least have access to someone or even a group that can maybe help you on all of the material that you feel like you've already missed to this point. And hopefully, if that's something you're interested in, this can keep you right on track to graduate early. And
that sounds, sounds fine. It won't hurt to try.
yeah, and absolutely, you don't have to commit to it, and that's not something you have to make a decision about right now. I want to make you aware that it's available to you. I can let the teacher know that you may or may not take advantage of it, but just so they have an expectation of they have to know like how many students would be in the class. So yeah, we won't put you down that you're committed to it, but we'll give notification. So what I'd like to do is we're going to go ahead, and if it's all right with you, we'll have your schedule changed immediately, effective today. I'd like to set up a follow-up appointment just to check in on you to see if this plan is working. I do want to kind of respect time because there's other students waiting, but at this time, are there any questions, or is there anything that you feel that didn't get addressed that needed to be addressed in this session?
No.
Okay, all right. Well, Lisa, I do appreciate your time, and I hope this is a pathway towards an early graduation for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.